So, for this special edition of To the Library podcast, we are going to share a few spooky recommendations for the Halloween season. And first up, we have Fred.
My first choice is a book by Mary Roach, and my copy is called 6 Feet Over Adventures in the Afterlife. But the US edition is Spook, so that's perfect for this topic. Spook Science Tackles the Afterlife. And basically, it's about science being used to prove life after death. It begins with a chapter on reincarnation, and then the search for the soul. Aristotle believed it had something to do with sperm. Then, how to weigh a soul. What happens when a man or a mouse or a leech dies on a scale. It was tried in 1902 and ascertained a loss of 21 grams at point of death. So we can assume that man's soul weighed 21 grams. It also talks about mediums and some questions that mediums ask the people they're communicating with. What do you do every day? The subject shows herself at the table eating. What type of body do you have? She says, fat people are thin here. How is the weather? It's Florida without the humidity. So that could be a genuine medium or a fake medium. You can decide. They do some searching for ghosts at haunted sites in England, and the book ends with near-death experiences. I can also recommend Mary Roach's earlier book, Stiff: The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers. What happens when you donate your body to science? You may end up as a crash test dummy. You may be a practice head for plastic surgeons or even used for ballistic practice. Finally, another favorite is Jessica Mitford's The American Way of Death, about the nutty funeral practices and greedy undertakers, originally published in 1963 but updated in the late 90s, just after Jessica Mitford passed.
Next up, we have Anne Marie with a recommendation.
So, my Halloween inspired book is Perfume, the Story of a Murderer by Patrick Suskind. I would say the genre is gothic, absurdist, psychological horror. It is a bizarre, unsettling, disturbing novel, basically from start to finish. In fact, the novel opens up in a foul-smelling market in Paris in the 18th century, and the protagonist, Jean-Baptiste Grenouille, is about to be born, and his unwed mother is basically a fishmonger, and she's chopping away, and she bears down, and right then and there gives birth to him right into a stinky, slimy pile of fish guts and entrails. So gross. And then she then cuts the umbilical cord herself and abandons him, just leaves him there lying in the like gross, disgusting stench and slimy fish guts. So gross. Anyway, so he's an infant, so he lets out a cry. So he is found. But of course, his life doesn't get much better, let's face it. Being an orphan at that time was not a walk in the park at all. And so, what's interesting about Jean Baptiste, right from when he's a baby, is they discover he has no smell. He has no odor. There's no scent at all that emanates from him. And because of that, he gives people the creeps, and some even think of him as like a demon of some sort. So, what's ironic about Jean Baptiste is although he has no smell to him, he was born with an extremely heightened sense of smell, and it's almost like a magical superpower that he has. And so this is how he learns how to survive through his keen sense of smell and how he sort of makes sense of the world around him. Now, eventually, he becomes the perfect, his career is perfect. He learns how to create perfumes. Excellent for him. And while he's doing that, he becomes absolutely obsessed with the idea of creating the ultimate perfume, the one that every human will want to have and to possess. And in that way of doing that, that he will be loved and he will get respect, which is something he's never had in his whole life. So, of course, with this obsession, this is where the novel takes a turn, and he comes across this heavenly aroma that he just has to have, and it happens to belong to a young innocent woman. Dot dot dot. So we all know by the title, it is the story of a murderer. So we already know where this is going to go. So, in this novel, Patrick Suskind, of course, he paints a very grim world, and that's for sure. And so, in no way is this an escapist novel. Yes. So, if anyone out there is in the mood to take a walk on the dark side of humanity, then I highly recommend this book to you.
I'm going to recommend the book Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury. I think it's a perfect October read because the book itself takes place in October in a small town in the US, and Halloween arrives early in this town when a mysterious carnival suddenly shows up. And the story follows two friends, and it's a real look at the nature of good and evil. And it gets really philosophical as the book goes on. And the added bonus of it is that important scene takes place in a library. And books feature they're important to the story and to the characters. So I think that's a bonus for a library podcast. But it's really a fantastic novel that has this melancholy throughout it that I think matches what can be in the air of the season as well. And also the stormy weather. So you get to feel October, think about big questions, but also have a spooky carnival. So hopefully some of these books inspired you to pick up something that suits the Halloween season.